first I'm gonna show you this for my challenge number 10 for the subject Information Technologies. This is my cover. It has two clocks, one for 4 seconds and the other for 75 milliseconds. Um, the option that I added to the cover, it's an innovation that I added, or a creative thing, and it is the change the color, the background color change randomly and increases and decreases like this. When the clock timer enables, the cover background sets to this color, these values with a random integer, and yeah, this stuff. And then I add to this value the green random, the color change rate variable, that it's 10 every time the clock finish. Then if the value of this variable is more than 255, it sets the the variable value to 255 and the value of this other variable to, sorry, uh, minus 10. And if it is less than 100, it sets the global variable to 100 and the color change rate to 10. So then if it's 155, it sets 10 times this, it does this time 10 times this operation, and then it gets to 255, and then it changes to less 20, less, sorry, let's 10 minus 10, and then it's 20, 255 plus less minus 10, and it's going to the 100, and then it repeats. And then what else? This, when the screen initializes, the two clocks gets enabled, and when the second clock, that it's the longer clock, finish, all the two clocks gets disabled, and then close the screen and open the other screen, that it's this. Okay, then we have this other screen, and the innovations that I added on this screen is the selection of a date. Like, I wanna select the day of yesterday, and I added a option to select that day. After after I set the date, it gives me the week name instant from the date picker, the day of the month that it's selected, and the month name, October, Thursday 17 October. That's the option I selected, and then it shows you that in the text. Then I added a menu instead of a screen with all the options to change, and this is when menu list picker selection index is equal to 1. It opens the second screen, that it's where the current and expenses capital balance are, and if I select the second option, that it's exit, it closes the application. Before picking, it sets the elements to this variable. I set this variable to 0, and when I click on the save button, that it's this, it does this. If any one of these two are empty, it shows you this thing. First, you need to fill both text boxes with something, and it's with the notifier element. This shows you with the notifier element. That's another innovation that I added to my program, the show message with the notifier element. And then, if it is not empty, uh, it sets the global increasing to increase plus by 1, and it stores that value into this tag, and then when I click on the button, it stores the value of the date picker into this tag. The tag d plus the variable increasing, that it's at this time right now it's 1, because I click on this button and it's 1. And if I click again, it's 2. So it stores that value into this tag d1, and then it sets all of these texts to get empty, and this is the global amount. And sets the global amount to summarize the global amount plus amount increasing, that if it's 0 uh, plus 50 that I put it on the text box, it's 50 now the amount. The total amount is another value that it stores into the tag total amount. When screen 2 initialize, set the global things variable to get the value of things box, that it's the increasing variable. And if it's equal to 0, it does this thing. Set all of this to double space and these lines. And then if it's enabled, it disables the delete button visibility. Then it gets a value from initial capital, that it's this. I'm gonna explain you that after this. And the total label to the value of current capital to join the value this and this if it's empty. If it's different to 0, it does these things. Now, here are another creative things that I added. I added this to put the initial capital and calculate what I have now after the expenses. If I don't have any expense, it shows me the same here and here. Now, that's an innovation. Another innovation that I added is to this that I explained you, to enable and disable this visibility of this button. Um, then if it's the the value of the current capital is more than 0, the total label text color changes to green, like positive or something like that. And the total label text changes to this, as well as in the other. If it is a less than 0, it changes to red instead of green. If it is different to 0, it enables the visibility of the delete button, and for each number from 1 to the global things variable, that it's I don't know, 1 for example, it just do this thing, set the date label text to join the same text that I added here, and a double space for the value of the tag d1, and if it's nothing there, it just show this. And it's the same with this, but the global tag e and the number that increases. Okay, if it's 2, this it's from 1 to 2, and d1 and d2 and e1 and e2 and in a1 and a2 and that stuff. Now I added here another innovation that I think I added a lot of innovations. Um, if you click on the delete button, it shows you a message with a notifier element that it's asking you if are you sure to delete all the expenses, and you click on yes or in no. If you click on yes, it clears the tiny database elements and disables the visibility of the delete button, um, as well as changes the labels text to this, the total label text, that it's right down this label, it changes to nothing because you don't have any expense, and the capital text box takes to 0. Now, if you click on the button calc total, that it's this, it does these things. If it's empty, the text box, it shows a message that you need to fill the text box with your initial capital and shows you like a error message. If it is not empty, and you click on the button, uh, it stores the value of the text box into this tag, and then set this tag is for this to show them the same when you get from screen 2 to screen 1 and then go back to screen 2. it it's stores the same value that it's here. So if I go to screen 1 and I go again to this screen, it shows me the same that I put it here before, as you can see. Now, that's an innovation to store the value of the amount that I put it of my capital. And then here it sets this variable to get the text that I added, like 200, um, less this total do you remember this variable? Okay, this is for this amount. It's so if I had 50 and 50, it's equal to 100, and then if I put here 200, uh, it realizes this operation: 200 less 100, so it gives me 100. And if it's more than 0, 100, it changes to green. And to store this variable, I added this, but I am not sure that it's functioning, so I'm gonna kit it. Okay, if it's red, it does the same thing. It stores the same value. So this it sets the total label text to join the money icon, or this plus the actual value of this variable. So finally, the programming time example of challenge number 10. You add a new node, and then you can view the nodes that you added and delete it and exit the app. For example, if you click on button new, it opens the screen 2. If you click on button view, it opens the screen 3. If you click on delete, it clears all the data stored in this element. And if you click on exit, it's just close the application. Here, total nodes it's equal to 0, so then set this to the same value that it's in the tag. If you click on save, it does this. If it's empty, it just shows you the alert that it's no message to save, and sets the global total nodes if it is not empty to get total nodes plus 1. And this thing, the total nodes plus this, as well as in my program is with the increasing variable. And then it shows you the alert notice too that it's the message save. Button back, it closes this screen and gets you to the screen 1. And if you click on the screen 3 that it's view nodes, it shows you this. It sets the global total node to get the same value that it's in this tag. And if it's equal to 0, it shows you no nodes to show. Else, if it is not equal to 0, it does this. For each number from 1 to, for example, 1, it sets the label text to join this and the tag that it's in here. And then if you click on back, it closes again the screen. And that's all for this. For example, as you can see here, add a new node, and these are your notes. That's all for this challenge. I'm gonna show you now how my app works and the programming time example. As you can see, this is programming time example. I add a new note, save, save, and save. Now you can see, oh, save, save, save. As you can see, there are, I can get of the app, I can view the notes again, and I can delete it. That's how it works, so simple. You can see it is here. Just this, and then you can add the date, Thursday or today, Saturday. I pay for the pipes fixing like 100. Also yesterday, I don't know, I paid taxes like 115. And Thursday I went to the supermarket. Um, as you can see, I expend like 200. Then I see my expenses. That it is my expenses in its respective day, and I add here like 200, $2,000, and my remaining is for this. Yeah, as you can see now, I can delete it. It erases this and erases this. I'm gonna add another thing. UP. Yeah, I need to fill both Xbox. Uh, it's from this. Now, as you can see, I put here 100. It's 50 my result. I can, I got it. And I can delete it again. And I can close the app, but now in development, as you can see. Just that. Okay, thank you.